Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we've got a good one for you today because Bob Kudla's back and spring has sprung. And we're going to talk everything from the economy to stocks to stock picking to trading, a little bit of everything today. So please don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and always follow Trade Genius also. And we'll talk about him a little later. But Bob, thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And I know you just got back from vacation and things are good, but what do you think right now with the stock market? Easter just passed. What do you think is going on right now in the economy as a whole? Let's get your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Fed and the Treasury are just throwing liquidity at the market, which means that they're raising the money supply, and the stock market lives on money supply. So the more money that's being pushed through the banking system, the higher the stock market's going to go. Although we went ahead and we hit the 1-year target of the S&P 500 in the first 4 months of the year. And so now April so far has been a bit of a, April's been a bit of a choppiness because liquidity with taxes. And so if you follow the seasonality of the 4-year, May into June, we should get another pop. May 15, watch. If they hit the earnings estimates that they're expecting, then the top's pushed out to August 15. If they don't, we're going to have a pretty tough summer. If they do, then look for end of August for the market to put a top in. And then comes election season in 25, first year of a new president or a, repeat of Biden, and we're going to probably be knee deep into a recession, and stock market's going to have a tough road to hoe.
Okay. Now, you talked about the treasuries. Let's talk about that. How they changed the rules as we were walking to turn the camera on. Tell the audience that real quick.
Yeah, so typically in a environment where the Fed has to borrow, the Treasury has to borrow a lot of money, they put out auctions. And so they usually have auctions for 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, etc. Well, Janet Yellen has been doing mostly short end borrowing, which is like less than a year. And what they're able to do with that is the banks are able to not count that as collateral against what they have to hold without lending, and they can lever it up to 8-to-1. So if everybody's wondering why the market took off in October and hasn't looked back, is because Janet Yellen basically flooded the zone with cash. Good news is short term, a lot of people are making a lot of money in a lot of sectors. The bad news is that when that ends, and it has to end, you can only take it so far, is then liquidity dries up and the market rolls back over. So that's what's going on with the market right now.
As far as the common person, though, credit, we could see a day when our credit cards wouldn't work. We could see a day when the ATMs are dry. That could theoretically happen in a liquidity crisis.
Yeah, depending on where the liquidity issue is. So if it's a bank liquidity issue, yeah, they can hold funds. They've done that before. You heard of bail-ins. They could do that. I don't think we're at that stage yet. I think nothing's going to happen after this election because the Democrats don't want to lose power, and the Republicans don't want to do something that's going to cause them to not gain power. So everybody's going to be kind of like consensus right now. But in 2025, then all bets are off.
Okay, now I've heard you say the figure Depression 2025. Could it get that bad? Because I think where we're at right now is unbelievably negative right now. You can call it anything you want, and we need to have a name for this, but this is recessionary times 5. I mean, this is bad right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we're in a recession right now. There's no doubt. I mean, all the 99-cent stores shut down.
Right.
Even the poor people can't afford anything. Unemployment rate is don't believe the report that you see. Everybody's doubling up on jobs. We have a report that shows you. We did a podcast on this. Is the amount of what do you call multiple jobs per job seeker is at the highest it's ever been. And then there's another thing that talks about like when the market will top is when unemployment curves up. It's curved up, and it's also being tied in now with FHA loans. They're defaulting at the highest level since the greatest financial crisis. So people are just maxed out, and the thing is, it's like a wink. When this thing happens, it's going to happen fast. But I'm in the camp that we're already in a recession. So if inflation rate is higher than the growth rate, then we're in a recession. And inflation's running at probably 9%, not 3%.
Get your finances ready, because
Yeah.
here's the thing that first things first. Bob runs a trading platform called Trade Genius, and one thing that he's done since towards the end of last year is he set up discounts and bundles to have people save money. And he set up, if you use danlovestrading.com, you can save money on Bob's bundles and get access to Bob and get access to Trade Genius. They also have a podcast on YouTube every day, and they cover everything: stocks, cryptos, everything. But please check it out, without a doubt. And but again, right now, there was some breaking news as I was walking from the car here, and one of the real estate people that I follow does commercial real estate, and for the first time in the United States history, we hit 1 billion square feet as of the end of March in vacant real estate. 1 billion square feet. So it's never been like that. We've never had 1 billion square feet available at any time, with new construction, with everything. But what this equates to is 23.7% in vacancy right now. And again, you guys, I am telling you this right now from dealing with these foreclosure companies that, they brought me in. Hey, Dan, come in for a couple hours to, I should have a desk there at their office right now, because they are so busy with everything that's happening with these commercial banks. You're going to see banks get repossessed. You're going to see banks get foreclosed upon, hotels be given back. It's going to be like, here's my car, take it back. It's going to be like that. A foreclosure will be like repossessions in the next 60 days. It's going to really turn over.
Yeah, commercial real estate's actually going to bring the banks down. So this is going to accelerate, because you got to remember, most of the refinancing, the commercial, owners of the commercial real estate had low interest rates into 2025, 2026, and they're going to have to refinance. Well, their loan to values are all upside down now. So
vacancies are up, the interest rates are up, the expenses are up, the insurance is up. I mean, everything is just completely clobbered these guys, and you're just going to see it get worse and worse and worse. Nobody wants to look at that.
Yeah, vacancies are going to go up higher. You got to remember, we have a number of macro trends happening here. The utilization of the workforce is down to 62% because people are retiring. Okay, work from home has not changed. And here's the other thing that's happening now is that you're starting to see the AI revolution is going to wipe out the rest of the office workers. So whatever doesn't get automated through those systems are going to get thrown over to India, Mexico, Taiwan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because they're going to operate those systems cheaper than here. Mm-hmm. And one of my sister's friend works for Kroger in their warehouse. The whole thing's robotic. They have nobody on the floor. And her job is she works on the maintenance of the robots. There's no work.
So nobody's lifting boxes and say, hey, get a pallet of this and a pallet of that. It's all automated and everybody moving over to get it.
And the other thing you're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing less choices in the stores or in retail. And what that's going to do for the upstream supply chain is that it's going to simplify their business model. It's going to allow them to even cut costs even further, and that's going to roll right up the top. So if you go to a grocery store now, you'll notice like the stuff that you want to have is going up in price. Just go to Albertsons if you're in my area, and then go look at the shelf above where the high end is. They're discounting the high end. They're raising the price on the low end because they're going to be clearing out all those brands pretty soon.
It's going to be crazy. You're going to see a complete shutdown. The 99-cent store closing. Yesterday I was at a Dollar Tree, which it's $3, $5, and $7 tree now. It's ridiculous, and they had such a problem talking to the employees. They get people that don't want to work for under $20 an hour now, so it's affecting everybody. Where they want that wage, and it's going to spread across the country because of what Gavin Newsom did.
Yeah, you want to hear something wild? Yeah. So get used to it. So if you go to Japan or Korea. In Korea, you go to most coffee shops, like what I would call a lower end coffee shop. There's nobody in the shop. A ramen shop, nobody in the shop. Everything's automated.
Really?
You pay and you get your stuff. You go to Japan, you could check into a hotel and not see a person.
Wow.
Okay. This is what's coming to us. They They do it primarily because demographic issues, but it's going to come to us too because of cost issues. And you do that when you simplify your product line. And I have a friend that owns a coffee shop right up the street here, and he said, "Hey, I may close soon because $20 an hour." I said, "But you're not affected by the law." He goes, "Oh, contraire." He said, "If I don't pay $20 an hour, my employee will go work at McDonald's."
Absolutely. They will totally leave. And that's what, I have had now almost 10 people come up to me and say, I know you make videos, and some know my name, some don't, but some recognize me and say, we're getting the $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And the most militant one was the woman that worked at O'Reilly Auto Parts and says it's just not fair that we're not getting this money. So you're going to see people stand up for that. And, to go back to one thing is you made a lot of predictions as far as what was going to go up and what was going to go down. And I know that you've had a tremendous amount of success in this first quarter. The stock market didn't crash, so to speak. Okay. And like you said, they just propped it up. You just said that, but Bitcoin shot up a ton and you guys killed it with Bitcoin, right?
Bitcoin, oil, silver, gold. See, here's the thing too. You and I can make predictions all day long, but it really doesn't matter. So what really matters is what happens to the stock price, and I just rely on my algorithm. So the other thing too, you learn a lot from being wrong on a prediction, because usually the acceleration away makes you even more money. So if the market wasn't going down, why wasn't it going down? We discovered why it wasn't going down as we loaded up on gold, silver, Bitcoin, and oil names. I'm stacked. You guys know, go back to previous podcasts that we've done together. ExxonMobil is my family's largest position. I mean,
what's it
very
up
large.
In 2024, what's it up?
Well, it started at $93, is at $121 right now. This is a mega cap oil company, okay? And it's up almost, 25% for the year, which is unheard of. And you know why they do it? Because interest rates are going up. Here's something you can bank on. Correlation. It's measured. It's metrics. Is that if interest rates go up, energy goes up. Interest rates go down, energy goes down. So you have a binary trade there. So and it's going to affect the stock market. Over 4.5%, the market has trouble going higher. But you don't really care about that. I don't care about the stock market in general. I care about energy is my biggest position. I'm staying in it until they start reducing those interest rates, and then I'm rolling over into bonds. And that's how you make a lot of money. Just go with the trend. And, we have an algorithm we call the worm. Those that are subscribers of mine know it very well. And then you guys are making a lot of money off the worm. And if you're a customer, put comments in the comments section, because it's so simple. See trade, take trade, make money. And it's simple as that. We definitely simplified this whole process for you, that you don't have to sit and guess whether or not this is a good trade to take. You set your stop and you move up. Our winning trade now is up to 67.5%. We have positive profit factor. Our last 25 trades, we were wrong on 4 of them.
Okay.
So we're really
the other
doing
thing
well.
is that, people think, I need to have $1 million trade with Bob. No. I've seen people do this with hundreds of dollars. I've seen people do it with thousands of dollars, but I've seen people be incredibly successful. And you've sent me things over, it's been a couple of years now. It's been over the years that we've done this. And, but again, he made a discount bundle, danlovestrading.com. Check it out today, danlovestrading.com. And I love the system. And for those of you that are interested in trading and where things are going to go and having access to Bob, take a look at it today. So,
yeah, and it's not just access to me. We give you access to the algorithm, access to the chat rooms. We have a VIP room where, like, he and I are talking, that you can talk to me all day long. And that's only a little bit more than the regular package. And that's one of the packages that I discounted for Dan. You make 1 or 2 trades with it. It pays for 5 years a year of the service. So
exactly.
We don't charge much for the service. It works out really well. We love doing it. We love educating people. And for us, it's not a zero-sum game. He can make money. I can make money. You can make money.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy it because, there's a lot of, you can get in as deep as you want to. Let's put it that way. But as far as, do you think we're going to see $3,000 silver? I mean, $3,000 gold, pardon me.
2,500 is the next target.
Okay.
And if they keep pouring money into the system, and they don't cut back on the debt, gold can have a breakout. We're definitely trending in the 1970s. If you want to look for an analogy, gold went up quite a bit. Silver's going to probably be $30. Gold will be $2,500. Bitcoin, the wildest prediction out there is 170,000. The math says we could hit like 107, 109,000, and then we'd get really big pullbacks. Okay, that usually happens after a halving, but we're looking for that spike So we don't think the party's over yet in Bitcoin. We think it may pull down a little bit here. You're going to get a final rocket ship, and then we're going to pull back down again.
Will the spike happen before the halving or after the halving?
Oh, we don't know.
Okay.
This has been a different halving environment than in the past. So, but we don't care. The whole point about this is that, let math do the job for you. Our algorithm will see the momentum and the price action, and it'll react accordingly visually for you. And so all we do is sit and we look at it every day. And so if you join our crypto room, Phil, my partner, he trades it long and short.
He's a crypto genius.
Yeah, he's scary.
He's really into knowing everything, but Phil knows his stuff, and I love following him.
Here's the thing about what we do in crypto. We don't follow the normal stuff. We can see supply. We can see hash rates. We can see leverage. See, we see things most people don't look at, and we can get a jump on long and shorts with Bitcoin. So definitely in the crypto room. I trade mostly the Bitcoin miners, long and short, and with puts and calls or with positions. And you can trade BITI, BITO, which are ETFs, long and short Bitcoin. So you don't necessarily have to have a crypto account to do it. You can just use those ETFs. But our view right now is if Janet Yellen wants to keep pumping money in the system, just buy all the inflation protected assets.
Okay.
But definitely start sliding out of tech. Okay, the money's going to roll into commodities just like it did in the 70s, and you're going to make a lot of money in that area. If they decide to crash this whole thing, just get into bonds. Okay. And you make a lot of money in the bond market, just like in 2008.
Questions people ask me. One woman said, we've had gold for a while now, and we saw a $10,000 spike. Should we get out now, or should we hold it? And I said, before I ask Bob this question, I'm going to give you my answer too. Which my answer would be: do you need $10,000 today? Is that going to be a big deal for you? Is it going to? What's your tax position going to be on that? Everything that you're supposed to report on that, you need to think about. So, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a big physical person. I like the gold miners, silver miners, because they have leverage to gold. Gold goes up 10%, they go up 30%.
Okay.
So you can make more money that way. But if you're going to hold physical, you should be out of debt before you do anything. Okay, because that is the variable you can't control. I used to do M&A work. That was my corporate job. And one of the things we always used to say was revenue and assets are ephemeral, but liabilities are real. Okay, they don't go away unless you pay them off or get foreclosed on. So you have to make sure that you can, cash flow your cash flow yourself. Even if you have a stress test your own life, if you lose your job for a year, are you going to need that $10,000? Or can you pay your house off? So you always want to be lowering your debt, all the time.
And you guys, that's the one thing, and I've told you guys this dozens of times, and that is the one thing that really changed my life was getting out of debt. When my brother really convinced me to look at the Dave Ramsey method, which I couldn't stand Dave Ramsey because I thought he was so arrogant. And every now and then I try to give it another shot, and he still is more arrogant than ever. But his methodology, him and even Susie Orman and people that just get out of debt, is a really good method. Now, since my last video, one person wrote me this and said, what does Bob think about this? And that is, Warren Buffett has a $269 billion portfolio in Berkshire Hathaway. 41% of his portfolio is in one stock. You know what it is?
Well, it used to be Apple.
It is Apple.
Yeah.
Great. That's amazing. But so I know you believe in diversification. It went for, as we get older, but can you believe that 41% of that's an Apple? Now he's made 569% on his trades. That's incredible that he's got one position like that.
Yeah, and he'll probably rue that position because Apple's no higher today than it was in 2022. So the money he's making is basically on dividends with Apple. But the thing is too is like for my family is we could pay our house off tomorrow if we wanted to. So it's we have it, it's liquid. I love the stock market over real estate because if I'm wrong tomorrow, I can be out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Real estate, you can't get out. Whether you're stuck for the long term. And I'm starting to get friends now that are losing their jobs with, $180,000, $200,000 a year jobs. They're not getting them back.
Okay, say that again. Friends that have $180,000 to $200,000 a year jobs that have been at these places probably 12, 15 years, or been in that industry 25 years, and now they're done.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? I mean, seriously, guys, who's going to hire me unless you're hiring me for a consultancy? Or Bob, I mean, seriously, if we had to go interview with somebody, it's like, who's these two old codgers?
We'd have to buy a suit. So
I own a couple, actually. So, but Bob dresses up for us, guys. By the way, and Bob also insulted me when I walked up. He said, this looks like a bed sheet.
It looks like a bed sheet.
So
I was going to slide off the chair here in a minute. But yeah, my wife said I have to shave and dress up for Dan. Yeah, so I don't even do it for my own podcast. I do it for Dan.
Kudla, because we always hijack you away from her. Like, hey, oh, you're going to be at lunch there? We'll film there. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for that. But again, okay, any dividend stocks? I know you're into energy. Any other energy stocks? Like, are you still into uranium at all, or is that okay? Uranium's big, and nuclear and everything like that.
Did you see a stock called SMR? These are small nuclear reactors. They're starting to rip now. They're starting to put them in. The move already happened a little bit, so you have to wait for a pullback. But so here's one that's come up from research that we've been doing. And I own a lot of this company called ET, which is a pipeline company. Okay. The pipelines in the United States on oil are running at 80%. Okay, they can only get to 90% before they really run out of what's called functional capacity. But between 80 and 90%, they start jacking up the rates because they start auctioning off the capacity. And so you're looking at companies like ET. That's going to that's the symbol. Pays 8% dividend now. The dividends are likely to spike. Okay, so that's a great company. I constantly are looking to get in and out of LPG, liquid petroleum gas. That thing, we just did a trade on that from 38 to 42 and back down. That pays a $4 dividend.
Again, $38 to $42. You know, $4 in profit, about 10%. Okay, but everybody wants to make it. Oh, I wanted to make $3 million. You know, and just you take profits. Take profits.
Yep, you have to take profit. You can't get wealthy unless you have cash. So here's what we just did yesterday and into today. So our worm hit a buy signal on a company called MP Materials, MP. Okay, and 1554 was the buy-in price. 1564 was the buy-in price. Some closed out at 16. I closed out at 1664, and people are closing out today at $17. Wow. So those are nice moves, and we've been doing that pretty regularly now in the commodity space because they've been under-owned. So as soon as we see those buy signals, we jump them. You take 3, 5, 7%, you get out.
See, that's the thing. Okay, let's go back to this. Trade Genius is Bob's platform that he's done. How long has it been now that you've had Trade Genius?
We're coming up on our 10th year.
10th year, okay. But Bob's been doing this for quite some time, and you know, they cover everything from stocks, cryptos, the metals, everything. You know, you can get advice on the entire market. But just like everything he talked about, the ebbs and flow of it. And again, you don't need $1 million to do this, but look at danlovestrading.com and get the bundles, get the discounts from him. So, you know, second quarter, okay? Are we just in a holding pattern right now for the election? Pretty much, do you think? You think that they're just going to continue to keep the boat going, you know, until November?
Yeah, that seems to be what's happening. So probably, you know, May into August, we should see another, maybe what they call it the summer spike. You know, it's market gets quiet, volatility falls, leverage goes up. So next event, unless something comes out of the blue, is that May 15th. I'm watching to make sure they hit the quarterly estimates. If that's golden, then I think you can relax till about August 15th when the next set of quarterly earnings comes through. And then after that, depending on who's running ahead in the election, the market can get pretty wonky and become pretty wild.
Okay. So let's close this out with this. And again, you know, all Bob's information, guys, is below. But you know, metals, you think easily we could see $30 silver, and you think that we could see $2,500 gold as the next stop. That could realistically happen. Yeah,
and you know, yesterday all the gold and silver miners were up again, so they're getting bought, and because they don't trust the government anymore. China has changed the dynamics, so China really runs what's happening in gold and silver now because their exchanges are becoming dominant. And then real quick, I know you guys want some free trades, but once the halving's done,
everybody loves that. Everybody loves this, Bob. So
yeah, so of all the Bitcoin miners out there, no hate, you can have your religion, but based on the math, is that Wolf and Clean Spark will be the winners. Now, don't run out there and buy them today because they're likely to all fall, after the halving. And then you want to look for those guys to come out of the dust, and those are going to be the big winners because they're the low cost producers.
Okay.
And in Bitcoin mining, all that matters is that you're the low cost producer.
Now, the other thing is oil. We're going to see oil continue to go up, don't you think, right now with the world, the tension around the world?
Yeah, $88 was our target for oil. I think we hit 87 and change. I think it hit 91 last week on some of that weird spike, I guess, the Israel Iran thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, if nothing happens, that'll probably top it for the summer. But if not, you will see oil over $100. The trade we're in now is like I'm starting to trim some of my energy sizing because we've had great runs. 25% moves is pretty big moves for the big O&G companies, but gasoline's probably going to go higher. Sorry for summer. So we have UGA right now.
I just paid $6 for premium the other day and had to go back and film that to show people because they didn't believe it. When I drive the work car, it's older and it needs to have the premium in there. And if I don't run the premium, it's a knock festival.
Yep.
And but okay, guys. Well, thank you, sir. Okay, it's going to be a very interesting month to say the least. So please take a look at danlovestrading.com. I'll have the link right below for you for Bob's system and access to him and Trade Genius. And I absolutely love it because you guys, the deals are incredible. And please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Email us hello@iallegedly.com. And I always, when you send me the Bob questions, I save them and I ask Bob. So please feel free to send them. And onward and upward, guys. We'll see you very soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, any questions you have on stock, give them to Dan. I'll answer them next video.
Okay.